10.35 up here on the dyno at the wheels after that last round of modifications, and I've gone 10.3 up here in Colorado.
And what's the retail on one of those?
Like $5.
$5?
Yeah.
You want to race?
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys. Average Guy Car Reviews. We're reviewing this 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk today. Come around to the front. So under the hood is a 6.2 liter V8. You guys are all familiar with it, the Hellcat engine. It makes 707 horsepower stock, 645 pound-feet of torque with the Cherokee. And then it's all this power is sent to all four wheels via an 8-speed automatic gearbox. You can see the styling of this vehicle is very aggressive and much different from the base Grand Cherokee, as you would expect with the $86,000 MSRP. Come around to the back to reveal the four tip exhaust here. And we'll go ahead and pop the trunk. So pop the trunk here to reveal a very nice 64.3 cubic inches of space with the seats down. It's about 35 cubic feet with the seats up in this configuration. Continuing around the car, you can see the massive calipers and rotors on the wheels. I mean, these things are massive. These have to be some of just the biggest brakes I've seen on a vehicle. All right, so coming into the driver's seat of the Trackhawk here, seats are very nice, very soft. Got the Trackhawk stitching here. Come inside. The seats are very comfortable. They bolster you very well. Here's that 8-speed auto I was talking to you guys about. And you have your drive modes here. You have tow, snow, auto, sport, and track, along with the launch button. It's the paddles as well. Come around to a very nice, very big screen, simplistic buttons, and a simplistic setup as well. So we've got that car running now, guys. So here's just a quick look at the infotainment. We got media, connect your phone, climate control settings here. There's a lot of options for this. You got some of your car apps, drive modes, backup cam, hotspot. More climate controls. That's for the seats. Some navigation here. Phone connection, as well as go back to the radio. Come to here, very simplistic gauge cluster. So here's that beastly 6.2 liter Hellcat V8, that 2.4 liter supercharger on the top, 707 horsepower, 645 pound-feet of torque stock. And with all-wheel drive stock, it's able to put down that power really well. It's actually faster than a Hellcat to 60. All right, guys, just for those few rips, I mean, the throttle response is very instantaneous, and the pickup is just there. It's just, when you want the throttle, I mean, it's there. There's definitely no slouch. Yeah, she picks up and goes. Wow. She sounds amazing too. I mean, the sound of the Hellcat engine is just crazy, and it sounds awesome. I mean, I'm trying to be professional as I can about this, but it's very hard considering how childish I feel at the moment. It handles very well. I mean, the back end kicked out a little bit there, but it's all-wheel drive, so it handles really well. And it doesn't feel like, driving it around, it doesn't feel like a 5,300 pound SUV. It feels pretty nimble for what it is. Now that we're getting in the driving portion, over 1,000 horsepower at the crank, 936 wheel horsepower at the wheels. This thing was insane. end just kicks out so quick, but it's not something like it puts the power down. I'll put the window up. It puts the power down well, even when the back end kicks out, and it's really easily manageable. The all-wheel drive makes it so you're not going all over the place. Sure, it squirrels a little bit, but it makes it very well manageable. Even just driving it normally, I'll put it back in normal mode, but even just driving it normally feels great. I mean, you could easily, you know, this is made to be a good daily driver to have the family in. For those guys that, you know, still wanted some speed and to go fast, this is great. I perfectly see the reason for getting one of these. I wouldn't get a normal Grand Cherokee now if I had to get a Grand Cherokee. But the way it drives, you can be so tame and so gentle with it, and it'll be gentle back. I mean, it's just very nice, very easy to drive. Not intimidating until you get on the throttle. But other than that, it's just really smooth and really nice.
All that being said, there is a few things I didn't like about this car. Just for the price point and the comparisons in the interior from just even the base Grand Cherokee, there could be a few things different. You know, maybe a bigger infotainment screen, other things to make the interior a little more spicy. As compared to the competition, you know, you have for example, the BMW X3M competition starting from $76,000, 10 grand lower MSRP, still got around 500 horsepower, but you're going to get a way nicer interior, a little bit more of a comfortable ride. But again, that's BMW. I mean, same with Mercedes, the new GLC 63 AMG SUV. Going to put out a great amount of power, $82,000. The interior is going to be very nice along with the ride. But then again, that's kind of what you're paying for. You have an American muscle car SUV as compared to these, you know, very nice German car performance SUVs. It's really what you want. If you don't care so much about the interior and a little more for speed, go with the Trackhawk all the way. But if you're looking for a little more of a comfortable ride for you and your family, and just a more comfortable interior, you may think about going European.
It's really quick.
However, that being said, you are not going to get a more raw, exciting car in this price range, especially an SUV, something this practical. I mean, I could not wipe the smile off my face the entire time during this review. What a blast to drive.
So this is your 2018 Trackhawk. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, so I bought it in October of 2019. It's completely stock. After that, I bought it in North Carolina. After that, I moved out here to Colorado, and then getting it out here to Colorado, I realized it was well underpowered. So coming up here to that higher density altitude, lost a lot of power. Lost about 100 horsepower at the wheels coming up here. And so I got on some forums, asked around shop I should take it to. I ended up taking it to RPM Denver on recommendation from another Jeep Trackhawk owner up here in Colorado. So Glenn Rains and his guys up there took care of me. We did the first round of modifications. I'd been collecting parts of my own. So we did upper 272 Hellraiser pulley, ATI 10% overdrive lower pulley. We did ID 1300cc injectors, catless downpipes, and a JLT intake. And at that, with the tune on E85, it made 860 at the wheels. I drove around like that for a while, and then about 6 months ago, I went in for another round of modifications. So the current setup is Kong ported blower, so Kong ported supercharger, the JLT intake. It now has a 2.65 inch upper pulley, still has the 10% ATI lower pulley. It has a B Woody idler pulley. It has Cook's headers that are Cerakoted by a company up in Denver, pristine powder coating. They are also wrapped. RPM Denver wrapped them for me and coated them. It still has the ID 1300cc injectors. We went with a JMS dual booster pump for fuel. Way through. And then for suspension, we went ahead and upgraded the suspension as well. So we did the Ibach SE lowering springs, which are specific to the Trackhawk. We also did the B Woody suspension kit, so that gives you upper and lower control arms and sway bar end links. And then in addition to that, we did G-force axles in the rear in preparation for running a Mickey Thompson drag radial at the track. I didn't want to snap a rear axle. Other than that, it's a stock engine. It's never been opened up. It's a stock transmission, stock transfer case, stock front and rear diffs. I've got 3 car seats in it. A 935 up here on the dyno at the wheels after that last round of modifications, and I've gone 10-3 up here in Colorado.
Wow, that's fast. That's awesome. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
All right, before the video ends, guys, I'd like to thank Jason. Go follow him on YouTube. He makes some awesome videos, fast world problems, drag racing, just life with the Trackhawk. It's really cool to follow. Go follow him on Instagram. I'll drop the link in the description for some behind the scenes content for him. Follow me on Instagram, Quigs and Cars, for some pictures of this as well. Thank you guys for watching. See you soon.